What's up, Falcons Nation? It's your boy Jew coming at you with another Atlanta Falcons video. As always, Falcons Nation, rise up. In today's video, I would like to talk about Takk McKinley. But with that being said, if you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell so you'll know when I've done Atlanta Falcons content. Hit that like button for your boy. I appreciate all of you guys for continuing to tune into the channel. But as always, let's go ahead and jump right into the video. So if you haven't seen today, breaking news, the Atlanta Falcons are not picking up Takk McKinley's 5th-year option. I do believe that this is the right decision by Thomas Dimitroff and Rich McKay and Dan Quinn and those guys. I do think that this is the correct decision. I don't believe that Takk McKinley has lived up to that #1 first-round billing in 2017, being a first-round pick. I don't think that Takk McKinley has lived up to that. He's been with us going on, I believe, 4 seasons now. He's never had over double-digit sacks. He's never even had 10 sacks in the season. The most he's had is 7 sacks in the season, which was his rookie season. And then I believe in his second year, he had 6 sacks. And then last year, he had 3.5 sacks. So his production has decreased over the last couple years. I am a huge fan of Takk McKinley because he does play the game with a ton of passion. But I think it's time for him to put up or shut up. He does a lot of talking off the field on social media about what he's going to do. He talked about how last year, if he didn't get 10 sacks, he was going to cut off his dreads. And when the season ended, he hasn't cut his dreads off. So it's just like he was trying to motivate himself, I'm assuming. But I feel like being that he didn't reach his own goal, he should have kept his own deal. If he said that he was going to cut his hair off if he didn't get the 10 sacks, I believe he should have went ahead and did that. It would have proved how serious he is about the game, how serious he is about producing out on the field. But like I was saying, I do think this is the right decision not to pick up that 5th-year option. I do think that it's time to put Takk McKinley's feet to the fire. And I do think that if he doesn't produce this season, he won't be in Atlanta long. I think after this season, if he doesn't produce and they don't see a huge jump in his production this year, I definitely can see him on another team going forward. But I hope that he pulls it together. I'm rooting for Takk McKinley. I'm a huge Takk McKinley fan. Like I was saying, I'm a huge fan of all of our players that put on that red and black every Sunday. But I definitely think that Takk McKinley has a high ceiling. I do think that he can improve. I definitely think there's room for improvement from a Takk McKinley. I think one of the biggest problems with a Takk McKinley is him being injury prone. I think the team doesn't want to take a chance on Takk McKinley with picking up that 5th-year option because of his bad shoulders. He's had 2 shoulder surgeries, if I'm not mistaken, since he's been with the Atlanta Falcons. He had one this offseason as well. So I wish him nothing but the best with his recovery. But I do think that he also needs to go back to the drawing board, and he needs to get with a pass rush specialist to work on his pass rush moves. He's a guy that loves to use the bull rush. And when you're trying to push around 300-plus pound men with just brute strength, sometimes that can be really hard and bad on your body when you're trying to, and on your shoulders. When you're falling on, players are steady falling on top of him. He's being clumsy and falling all over the field. And that's how he continues to hurt those shoulders. So I definitely think he needs to get with one of these pass rush specialists and work on some counter moves, not just the bull rush, but maybe a couple of speed rush moves, a spin move, a club chop, some other move where you can keep the offensive tackles off balance. Because I think with Takk McKinley, because he used the bull rush so much, players set him up and they're ready for him when he comes with that bull rush, because he uses the same type of rush every time he rushes the passer. Now, with that being said, I definitely think that Takk McKinley does have promise. I do think that he's a very aggressive player, and that's something that I love about him. I love his passion for the game. If you remember when he got drafted, he was really animated, talking about his grandmother and things of that nature, and how he promised her that he was going to make the league. But I definitely think that it's time for him to go ahead and produce and give us a little bit more juice I do think bringing on Dante Fowler Jr. is going to rub off on Takk McKinley because he plays the game with a ton of passion as well. But I just hope that he rubs off on Takk McKinley because it feels like Vic Beasley really didn't rub off on Takk McKinley that much. Vic Beasley was a really laid back dude, and Dante Fowler is the total opposite of that. Dante Fowler is very fiery, especially when he gets between those white lines. He's very fiery. He's one of those guys that's going to bully the offense and bully opposing players. And I think Takk McKinley needs to adopt that same mentality that I'm not going to be stopped. I refuse to be stopped, and then I'm going to go out there and wreak havoc. Now, I do like what we're doing with the defensive line. We're bringing in Marlon Davidson in the draft. We're drafting him. I think he was a good pickup, and I think he's going to be a huge addition to the defense with him in the middle with Grady Jarrett. So now that we have two dominant players in the middle, I really think that the pocket will be collapsed a lot, and Takk McKinley is going to get a lot more opportunities to get sacks on the quarterback. And I think that he really could cash in next year if he can go in and he can be professional and he can go in there and he can handle his business and end the season with 10 plus sacks. I really think that Takk McKinley is very capable of getting more sacks because if you go look at his quarterback pressures, he's one of the best players on our team in getting quarterback pressures. He just doesn't get a ton of sacks. And I think some of that has to do with him not having enough pass rush moves. So once he gets by an opposing offensive guard or tackle, he just doesn't finish well. He misses tackles. He overruns plays because he's super aggressive. And I think that he definitely is going to have to learn how to use his head and play smarter when he's out there on the field. When he's out there setting the edge in the run game, he has to remember that he has responsibilities to cut off the edge, and he can't just jump inside and allow mobile quarterbacks to get outside of him and running backs to get that outside shoulder. He definitely has to do a better job. He's strong enough on the outside to cut off the edges, so he has to be a lot better at setting the edge, and he has to be a lot smarter with using his football IQ to diagnose plays. Because sometimes I think Takk McKinley is just being ultra aggressive. He's giving everything that he has, but he's not thinking on some of these plays, and he's getting over aggressive. And sometimes he overruns plays, or he's misled, and he's running all over the place, but he's not being smart in the way that he's playing. But with that being said, you guys let me know what you guys think about Takk McKinley. Not being re-signed by the Atlanta Falcons on that 5th-year deal. Like I said, I definitely think that Takk McKinley has a chance to redeem himself, this upcoming season. But I do think that he shouldn't have the comfort of us signing that 5th-year option without us seeing if he can come back healthy, number one, and then also seeing him prove that he can be a better pass rusher for our team, because we definitely need Takk McKinley to step up. If he steps his game up, I think we can have a lethal 1-2 punch with him and Dante Fowler Jr. Like I said, both of him and Dante Fowler has that grittiness about them, and they're very solid pass rushers, and I think they could be one of the best duos in the league if Takk McKinley goes and puts in the work off the field and not just all that talking that he's doing on social media. But with that being said, this being your boy Jew. I'll holler at you guys in the next video. You guys let me know in the comments below what you feel about Takk McKinley. Like I said, I think he's a solid player. I think he has a huge upside, but I do think it's time for him to put up or shut up. But with that being said, this been your boy Jew signing off. I'll holler at you guys in the next video. And always, Falcons Nation, rise up. Peace.